Good morning. It is 6:43 a.m. on Thursday, October 10th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. And today I'm thinking about adventures for my upcoming game for Extra Life. So, if you were not already aware, for the last 2 years running, I have participated in a charity called Extra Life, which benefits children's hospitals. And people all over the internet are doing like 24 hours of gaming to benefit charity and gaining pledges and so on. And so what I've done the last 2 years is run 24 hours of Dungeons and Dragons that is all themed around helping this charity. And I'm going to do it again. So November 2nd and 3rd is the weekend in question, where I'm going to run from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday. So I've started sending out some feelers, trying to get a sense of who I might be able to have play in it, and also I'm just trying to get some scheduled things. But another piece of what I have to do is to choose what adventure to run. So 2 years ago, I ran the published module Tomb of Annihilation. And then on last year's Extra Life, I ran Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So, this year I could continue that pattern and run the most recent published adventure module, Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus, which is definitely one of the choices I'm considering. It has a nice theme to it where it's basically Avernus in the Dungeons and Dragons cosmology is the first layer of the 9 hells. And so having an adventure which is largely set in hell is kind of a fun setup. And also it's got a lot of Mad Max Fury Road sort of vibes in it, which is also pretty cool. So that's one I'm definitely considering, and one of the only reasons that I'm hesitating there is that it's a long campaign designed to run from level 1 to 13, and so 24 hours is not really enough to finish that adventure. So I've thought about a couple of ways, like what I might do differently with that one. So I thought maybe I could, kickstart the adventure by having everybody start at level 5 and kind of fast tracking the early part and getting them to where they go to hell much sooner. In the regular adventure, it happens at level 5. So that's, one option. But then there's also the Acquisitions Incorporated book, which came out this year and has its own adventure in it. And there's a lot of fun to be had in that one. And if you're not familiar with Acquisitions Incorporated, the whole idea is blending like office humor with Dungeons and Dragons. The idea is that Acquisitions Incorporated is this adventuring company that is really focused on adventuring as a means of profit and making that an organized thing with, like hierarchies and contracts and all of these sorts of business type of things. And so the idea is that the adventurers would be setting up a new franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated. And so, you get quests from head office and you have to make your bosses happy and all of that sort of thing, all the while you're doing D&D stuff. So that could be a lot of fun. And that sounds like, so that's there's a lot to like about that too. There's a lot of silliness in that, and certainly a lot of fan service if you follow the Acquisitions Incorporated brand. But then there's also the D&D Essentials Kit, which has an adventure called Dragon of Ice Spire Peak, and then some expansion adventures that go along with that. And there's a lot of good stuff in that one as well that is much more the sort of classic D&D fantasy tropey sort of things, where you got little medieval town and you're gonna save it from the dragon that's threatening it, and then there's other threats and everything, but it is much more sort of the classic fantasy style adventure. So there's a lot to be spoken of, a lot to say, or I'm trying to, somehow my words are not making what I want good this morning. There is a lot that appeals about all three of those, and so all three would be great. So I haven't decided yet, but that's kind of one of the things I'm thinking about. Probably try to make a decision over the next couple of days so that I can start preparing the actual adventure. And so once I know what the adventure is going to be, I can come up with donor rewards that are themed on that, and it's all going to be great. So that's where I'm at this morning, and so I'm going to leave it here for now, but I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.